Not everyone perceives the world in the same way. While some people are more action-oriented and interact with ease, others prefer to observe and reflect before acting. Carl Jung, one of the greatest psychologists in history, studied these differences and developed the theory of psychological types, which later gave rise to the MBTI, Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, one of the most well-known personality tests. This system classifies people as introverted or extroverted and combines different traits to define how each individual perceives and processes reality. Among these profiles, the intuitive introverts stand out for their unique way of interpreting the world. Instead of focusing on what is visible and immediate, they pick up on hidden patterns, analyze symbolism, and rely on intuition to make decisions. The MBTI identifies 16 personality types, but here we will explore the 4 main intuitive introverts: INFJ, INTJ, INFP, and INTP. All of them share a tendency to dive deeply into their own thoughts, seeking to understand aspects of life that often go unnoticed by others. If you've ever felt out of place or noticed that your way of thinking differs from the majority, you might be part of this group. But what are the challenges and advantages of this type of mind? How can you channel this unique perception to turn it into a strength rather than an obstacle? In this video, you'll learn about the 4 intuitive introvert profiles and may discover which one resonates most with you. What does it mean to be an intuitive introvert? An intuitive introvert is someone who spends a great deal of time analyzing and interpreting the world in a profound way. They don't limit themselves to what is visible but strive to understand what lies beneath the surface, trying to decipher hidden meanings and predict future consequences. While many react to what they see in the moment, the intuitive introvert is already imagining the long-term implications of those events. This ability allows them to come up with innovative ideas and notice connections that most people overlook. However, this unique way of thinking can make them feel isolated, as few share their perspective. This profile also possesses a sharp perception, picking up on subtle cues in their surroundings without anyone needing to explain. They sense when something is out of place and often intuit the outcome of a situation before others even notice any signs. Yet, because their mind operates in an abstract way, putting these perceptions into words can be a challenge. This difficulty in translating complex thoughts into accessible communication can lead to frustration and make it harder to connect with others. To overcome this obstacle, expressing ideas through writing and striving for a more objective approach when speaking can be an effective path. Another defining trait of intuitive introverts is their need for moments of solitude. Isolation is not just a preference but a necessity for organizing thoughts and processing information. However, when taken to the extreme, it can limit opportunities for learning and personal growth. Finding a balance between introspection and social connection is essential. Exploring discussion groups, interacting in online communities, or exchanging ideas with like-minded individuals can provide a stimulating environment without requiring forced socialization. INFJ, the mysterious counselor. Introverted, intuitive, feeling, and judging, this is one of the rarest and most mysterious personality types. Their mind acts like an emotional radar, picking up on feelings and intentions that most people overlook. They don't limit themselves to what is said but grasp what lies between the lines, understanding others in an intuitive way. This sensitivity makes them an excellent counselor, as they can say exactly what the other person needs to hear at the right moment. However, this deep empathy can also be a burden. By absorbing the emotions of others so intensely, the INFJ needs moments of solitude to recharge their energy. Their greatest desire is to have a meaningful purpose. They are not content with a life that feels meaningless or empty. They need to feel that they are doing something important, whether it's helping people, advocating for a cause, or creating something that brings a positive impact. However, this constant search can lead to frustration. If they feel their efforts aren't yielding results or that they aren't contributing enough, they may fall into periods of demotivation and self-doubt. Imagine an INFJ who works in an office but feels their true calling is to write an inspiring book or work on something that truly transforms lives. Even with a stable job, they feel restless, as if something is missing. This deep desire to contribute to the world can drive them to seek a path that holds more meaning for them. Even though they care deeply about others, the INFJ often feels that no one truly understands them. Their way of thinking is complex, and few people can keep up with the depth of their reflection. As a result, they filter what they share, avoiding exposing their deepest ideas for fear of being misunderstood. This makes them seem reserved and mysterious, which can make it harder to build genuine connections. Their values are their compass, and they make decisions not just based on logic, but also considering the emotional and moral impact of their choices. They are extremely reliable and loyal to what they believe in, but they may struggle to accept views that are very different from their own. Their need for harmony leads them to avoid conflict whenever possible, but when confronted, they may find it difficult to accept opposing perspectives without feeling the need to argue. Despite being introverted, the INFJ has a natural and captivating charisma. When they speak about something they love, their energy is contagious, making their words inspiring. However, their social energy is limited. Even though they enjoy interacting with those they consider special, they need long periods alone to recharge. If they don't respect this need, they can end up exhausted and overwhelmed, feeling emotionally drained. The INFJ is one of the most complex and fascinating personalities. Their combination of empathy, depth, and a unique worldview makes them capable of creating a powerful impact around them. However, to maintain balance, they need to respect their own time and space without feeling guilty about it. INTJ, the solitary strategist. Introverted, intuitive, thinking, and judging. They are known for their strategic and highly analytical mind. They see the world as a giant chessboard, where every move must be calculated with precision. Their way of thinking is extremely logical, always seeking the most efficient way to do things. While many people make decisions based on emotions or impulses, the INTJ prefers to evaluate all possibilities before acting. For them, everything must have a purpose, and wasting time on trivialities is something they avoid at all costs. From an early age, this personality type develops a strong intellectual independence. They trust their own reasoning more than external opinions, as they quickly notice when something doesn't make sense or isn't efficient. This confidence allows them to excel in environments that require planning and critical thinking. However, this same trait can lead to difficulties in teamwork. The INTJ has very high standards and, as a result, may prefer to do everything alone rather than rely on someone they consider incompetent. In social interactions, they are selective. Unlike other introverts, they don't avoid interactions but carefully choose who to spend their time with. They see no point in superficial conversations and feel no need to follow social rules they consider useless. This can make some people see them as arrogant, but in reality, they simply value genuine relationships and the exchange of intelligent ideas. While some people enjoy socializing with colleagues after work, the INTJ prefers to use that time to read, study, or improve a skill. For them, interactions must have a purpose, which is why they may come across as distant or indifferent. Another defining trait of the INTJ is their ability to anticipate problems. They see patterns and think about the future with clarity, creating plans to avoid obstacles before they even arise. This talent allows them to achieve great results, especially in careers that require innovation and long-term vision. However, their confidence in their own logic can make them rigid. When things don't go as expected, They may become frustrated and struggle to adapt to unexpected changes. The INTJ is a true strategist. Their ability to think ahead and make rational decisions makes them one of the most determined and efficient profiles. However, to reach their full potential, they need to balance their need for control with more flexibility and patience, both with themselves and with others. INFP of the deep dreamer. Introverted, intuitive, feeling, and perceiving. They see the world in a unique way. For them, reality is not just what is seen but also what is felt. Their imagination blends with their emotions, creating a universe where everything has meaning. While others focus on what is practical and immediate, the INFP seeks purpose in every experience and refuses to accept a life without depth. From an early age, they feel different. They don't like following rules just out of obligation and highly value authenticity. For them, living according to their own values is more important than meeting others' expectations. This makes them extremely loyal to their convictions, but can also make it harder for them to adapt to environments that require flexibility or pragmatism. An INFP might be walking down the street and see a bird flying. While others simply ignore it, they find themselves reflecting on freedom, how life can be unpredictable, and the deeper meaning of that scene. This kind of abstract and poetic thinking is part of their essence. Creativity is one of their greatest strengths. Whether writing, painting, composing music, or simply reflecting on life, the INFP has the ability to turn emotions into something beautiful and expressive. Their imagination is so rich that they can create entire stories in their mind, filled with possibilities and intense feelings. However, this same sensitivity can make them vulnerable. When reality doesn't match what they imagined, the frustration can be overwhelming. They seek a greater meaning in everything and, when they don't find it, tend to retreat into their inner world. Another defining trait of this profile is their tendency to idealize people and situations. They see the best in others and believe everyone has the potential to change and grow. This hopeful vision is inspiring but can also lead them to ignore warning signs in relationships or create unrealistic expectations. When they realize that reality doesn't match what they imagined, they may feel hurt and disillusioned. Relationships must be authentic and deep. Superficial conversations and empty interactions don't interest them. They seek genuine connections and give themselves intensely to the people they connect with. However, this selectivity can limit their interactions. Often, they feel that no one truly understands them and prefer solitude to relationships that feel forced. This can bring emotional security but also make it harder to create new connections and opportunities. Despite the challenges, the INFP's greatest talent is their ability to find beauty and meaning where no one else sees it. Their worldview can inspire others and bring profound reflections. When they learn to balance their inner universe with reality, they stop being just a dreamer and become someone capable of transforming their sensitivity into something powerful and impactful. INTP of the curious philosopher. Introverted, intuitive, thinking, and perceiving, this personality type has a restless and endlessly curious mind. They don't accept simple explanations and feel the need to understand how things truly work. For them, the world is a giant puzzle, full of hidden patterns and connections. While many people follow rules and accept ready-made answers, the INTP questions everything and seeks the truth on their own. They won't accept an answer like, "It's this way because it's always been this way." If someone tells them the universe is infinite, they'll immediately wonder, but what comes after that? How can something truly be infinite? This kind of questioning has been with them since childhood. From an early age, this personality type stands out for spending hours lost in thought. They enjoy exploring ideas, creating theories, and testing hypotheses in their mind. For them, knowledge is an end in itself, and learning is a constant process. Because they value logic, they don't accept anything without deeply analyzing it first. As a result, many INTPs are self-taught, researching and investigating without needing formal instruction. However, this tendency to live in the world of ideas can bring challenges. Often, the INTP gets excited about new possibilities and loses interest before completing a project. They love imagining solutions and discovering innovative concepts but may struggle to turn these ideas into something practical. This can lead to procrastination and constant frustration over not being able to bring all their thoughts to life. They might start learning programming and, after a few months, fall in love with philosophy, abandoning programming to dive into books by Nietzsche and Kant. Later, they might decide to study quantum physics and then switch to psychology. They love learning but have difficulty committing to a single field. Another obstacle lies in social interaction. The INTP communicates in a direct and logical way, which can make them seem cold or distant. They value truth and precision above all else, which can make them impatient with trivial conversations or subtle emotions. Their frankness can be misunderstood by those who don't understand their way of thinking. Additionally, because they prefer to delve into complex ideas, they may seem distracted or uninterested in day-to-day interactions. Since they spend so much time inside their own head, the INTP can feel disconnected from the real world. Even though they value certain relationships, they don't always show affection in the way others expect. Their need for intellectual independence makes them avoid any kind of authority or rules that seem to limit their freedom of thought. The 4 intuitive introvert types share a deep way of perceiving the world but differ in how they make decisions and interact with reality. INFJs, introverted, intuitive, feeling, judging, and INFPs, introverted, intuitive, feeling, perceiving, are driven by emotion and internal values. However, while INFJs are more organized and strategic, carefully planning their steps to turn ideas into concrete actions, INFPs are more spontaneous and follow what they feel in the moment, expressing their emotions through creativity. Both may feel that no one fully understands them, but for different reasons. INFJs because they think in complex ways and are selective about sharing their thoughts, and INFPs because they idealize the world and become frustrated when reality doesn't meet their expectations. On the other hand, INTJs, introverted, intuitive, thinking, judging, and INTPs, introverted, intuitive, thinking, perceiving, rely more on logic and critical thinking to make decisions. The INTJ is a natural planner, focused on efficiency and strategy, always anticipating challenges and seeking practical solutions. The INTP, however, prefers to explore ideas freely, without a fixed plan, questioning everything and seeking knowledge for the sheer joy of learning. While the INTJ sets goals and follows a structured path, the INTP can get lost in endless reflections, leaving projects unfinished. Both may seem emotionally distant, but the INTJ handles the external world better, while the INTP remains more isolated, immersed in their own thoughts. Another important difference lies in their relationship with planning and flexibility. INFJs and INTJs, with the J judging trait, prefer organization and a clear direction for their lives, setting goals and following plans with discipline. INFPs and INTPs, with the P perceiving trait, are more adaptable and spontaneous, adjusting their paths as new ideas arise and avoiding rigid rules. This impacts both their career choices and personal relationships. While J types seek predictability and structure, P types prefer the freedom to explore possibilities without fixed commitments. These differences make each type navigate the world in a unique way, balancing rationality, emotion, planning, and creativity in distinct ways. The biggest challenges of intuitive introverts. One of the greatest challenges for intuitive introverts is loneliness. Because they think deeply and see the world differently, they often feel like no one truly understands them. They may be surrounded by people but still feel a lack of genuine connection. This isolation can become a problem when it starts to affect their self-esteem and well-being. To minimize this impact, it's essential to seek authentic connections in environments that value depth of thought, such as online communities, book clubs, or more meaningful conversations with trusted friends. Another major barrier is the difficulty in expressing themselves. Since their thoughts are often abstract and complex, it can be challenging to put them into clear words. They frequently feel that people don't understand what they're trying to say, which can lead to frustration and even silence. One way to improve this is by developing the practice of writing and objective communication. Organizing ideas on paper or explaining concepts to themselves can make it easier to express them to others. Additionally, there's the issue of perfectionism and an overactive mind. Intuitive introverts tend to have high standards for themselves. They want to understand everything deeply and do things in the best possible way. This can lead to procrastination as they wait for the perfect moment to act. This thought pattern can also cause mental exhaustion, as their mind never stops processing information. To balance this, it's important to practice letting go of perfection and accepting that it's better to do something imperfectly than to never do it at all. Techniques like mindfulness and strategic breaks can help reduce mental overload. The greatest strengths of intuitive introverts. One of the greatest strengths of intuitive introverts is their creativity and fertile imagination. They see the world in a unique way and can connect ideas that others wouldn't even imagine. This makes them excellent writers, artists, thinkers, and innovators. Because they spend so much time reflecting and observing patterns, they are capable of creating original solutions to complex problems. If they can turn this creativity into something concrete, they can make a significant impact, whether through art, science, or personal development. Another great strength is their emotional intelligence and deep empathy. They not only understand their own emotions but also easily perceive the feelings of others. This makes them great listeners and advisors, able to see beyond what is said. This skill can be a major asset in fields like psychology, teaching, writing, and leadership. However, for empathy to become a positive resource rather than a burden, it's essential to learn how to set boundaries and avoid excessively absorbing the emotions of others. Moreover, intuitive introverts have a natural ability to solve problems strategically. Because they analyze everything in depth, they can anticipate scenarios and find solutions before challenges even arise. This makes them valuable in any field that requires planning, innovation, and long-term vision. However, balancing this skill with action is crucial to avoid getting stuck in the realm of ideas. If they can align thought and execution, they can achieve great accomplishments and build a path to success based on their own worldview. Now that you know the main intuitive introvert types, which one resonates most with you? Understanding your personality can help you better develop your skills and overcome challenges with greater awareness. Although they are rare and often misunderstood, these profiles have immense potential to impact the world in profound and meaningful ways. If you enjoyed this content, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Stay with me for the next video.